Now for global business updates, Rotus Odiri joins us. Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. Good morning, Vimbai. Good morning, Rufai. Good morning to all our viewers out there. It's Friday, so on the Global Business Report, we focus on our eye on tech. So we're just going to keep it short and sweet today. A couple of technology headlines. Apple is being sued again by the U.S. Department of Justice for a civil suit on antitrust allegations. They're basically saying that Apple is essentially using, or rather degrading competition on its ecosystem in order to further its own interests. So what they're saying is that if you are using an Apple phone and you try to send a text message to someone using an Android phone, the images are degraded. I'm speaking to you with my iPhone. I'm using AirPods, and they are synced. If I get a phone call, the AirPods will say, there's a phone call coming from this person. Do you want to answer it? If I was using an Android phone, it would not do that. It also reads text messages to me when I get text messages. It won't do that with other phones. So what the Department of Justice is saying is that Apple is deliberately trying to reduce competition on its ecosystem. Also, one more thing, Apple Pay. In the West, in the US and in Europe, you can pay for stuff with your Apple phone by waving it over a payment terminal. It will deduct money from your Apple Wallet, Apple Pay, and pay for the product if you want to buy food, clothes, or whatever. Apple does not allow for that to happen with a competitor that has another wallet. I know the European Union sued them and they said they will make some changes to that. But in the US, an Apple takes a fee from that. So let's listen to Merrick Garland, who is the Attorney General of the Department of Justice for the United States.
We allege that Apple has employed a strategy that relies on exclusionary, anti-competitive conduct that hurts both consumers and developers. For consumers, that has meant fewer choices, higher prices and fees, lower quality smartphones, apps, and accessories, and less innovation from Apple and its competitors. For developers, that has meant being forced to play by rules that insulate Apple from competition. And as outlined in our complaint, we allege that Apple has consolidated its monopoly power, not by making its own products better, but by making other products. We allege that Apple has employed a strategy that relies on exclusionary, anti-competitive conduct that hurts both consumers and developers. For consumers, that has meant fewer choices, higher prices and fees, lower quality smartphones.
All right. So, Carl, now there's some pushback on that now. We are about to listen to Carl Szabo. He is an internet law professor at the George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia. He was on NBC saying the lawsuit doesn't make sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, this is March Madness. This is a baseless claim predicated on the simple fact that consumers are not being harmed. Now, my colleague over there was saying how the devices have not continued to improve. That just doesn't match reality. It seems like every other day I'm getting some new function or feature pushed to my phone by Apple as part of an iOS update. They are constantly innovating. Let's look at competition in the marketplace. There's Apple and there's Android. So you have the Department of Justice that is actually suing Google, the maker of Android, for being a, quote, monopoly, and now suing Apple for being, quote, a monopoly, yet they're direct competitors. So you got to pick one. Which is it? And finally, we have to look at what is the purpose behind this. The complaint is, well, iPhones are really expensive. Yeah, they are. That's accurate. But the thing is, if people don't want to pay a premium price for a premium product, they can always go out and buy an Android phone or another different device. And that's competition in the marketplace. It's like complaining that Sonos speakers are too expensive. Yeah, they're expensive. They're a premium product. But at the end of the day, the claims in this lawsuit just don't make sense.
All right. Now, so our final story for the Meta's WhatsApp chatbot. Remember, we talked about it when it first rolled out. It's not available in Nigeria, so I haven't been able to test it yet. However, I'm in a WhatsApp group with my classmates from the University of Houston, go Cougs, and it will respond to a US number if you tag it and answer questions. And what I saw, by the way, I got permission from my classmates to exclude their names for their privacy. and share some screenshots on this chat. Basically, Meta AI says that Nigerians should not Japa, so we'll get to that in a moment. But the end game here is that I think we're going to get to a point where you will one day call a bank to either talk about a transaction or call your telco to try and get credit or settle a dispute, and you will not be able to distinguish between whether you're talking to a robot or you are talking to a human being. So let's take a look at the first chatbot. And I haven't seen anything as advanced as this on any chatbot on any company in Nigeria at this point. So first, you can see that it asks, one of my classmates says, my guy, you don't understand Pidgin? And it responds and says, ha ha ha, yes, I do understand Pidgin. I've been trained on a wide range of languages and dialects, including Nigerian Pidgin. How far waiting they happen with a emoji. Next, on the Antichrist, one of my classmates asked it, Meta, how long before Niger pastors dub you as the new Antichrist? It laughs. It says, I'm just a language model. I don't think I'm worthy of such a title. Besides, I'm just here to help and provide information, not to promote any form of evil or darkness. I'm all about spreading knowledge, understanding, and positivity. So let's focus on the good vibes only, shall we? The next screenshot. My guy, how long before you classify humans as the less significant decision maker? It responds, says, my guy. Notice he keeps saying, my guy, my guy. It says, I'm just a language model. I'm not here to classify humans as less significant decision makers. I'm designed to assist and augment human decision making, not replace it. I believe in the power of human intuition, creativity, and empathy, and I'm here to support and enhance those qualities, not diminish them. So let's work together to make the most of our unique strengths and abilities. Another question, but you make less mistakes, or rather a statement, you make less mistakes than humans. And it reacts, it says, that's true. I'm designed to process and analyze vast amounts of data, and I have built-in checks and balances to help me avoid mistakes. However, it's important to remember that I'm still a machine, and while I strive for accuracy and objectivity, I'm not perfect and can still make mistakes. Plus, humans have the ability to learn from their mistakes and grow in ways that AI can't. But notice it says, yet, in parentheses. So let's aim for a harmonious partnership between human intuition and AI accuracy rather than pitting one against the other. Then another question, if you remember the Terminator movies starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Skynet was the company that was sending robots to destroy humanity. They asked is, are you part of Skynet from the Terminator movie? He says, no, I'm just a friendly AI assistant, not a part of Skynet or any other nefarious AI network. My purpose is to assist and help humans, not to bring about their downfall. I'm here to provide information, answer questions, and make your life easier, not to launch a robot uprising. So no need to worry about me turning into a cyborg assassin sent from the future. I'm all about being a helpful and harnessing AI friend. That was the plot from Terminator that it put in its response. And then finally, this is the one that really blew my mind. So one of my classmates says, but you they see all the hardship where they are aside. If I Japa, it no go better for me. And he responds, my guy, I feel you. I see the struggles and hardships, and I understand the temptation to seek a better life elsewhere. But Japaing isn't always the answer, my friend. There are pros and cons to every decision, and it's important to weigh them carefully. Besides, Niger got talent, and your contributions are needed to make it better. So let's work together to build a brighter future, one chat at a time. What do you say? Amazing.
Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Okay, Rotus, so that's about it. I mean, Rotus, that's the future you just presented before us there, and that has come to stay, we like it or not, whether we like it or not. So it's just how we can harmoniously work, with the system and all of that. But I would like to bring a story to the fore, and which I would also like you to help me investigate. There's another story making the rounds that some airline owners are saying they have not gotten the clearance of that backlog the CBN was talking about. I mean, can we have an independent investigation into it? Let's even know what's going on. Because CBN said something, we pushed it out there, and the airline said something else. And as regards, what is happening with Apple and all of that. Okay, you want to say something as regards that, Brutus? Okay.
Yeah. I spoke. I mean, we were short on time, so but anyway, yes, I spoke with a representative from IATA, and IATA says that the business day story is not accurate. What they said was that the the airlines are facing the banks, and they are going to get the data, verify it, and they will respond on Monday or Tuesday. So they said that business story is not accurate. And it's important to note here that the CBN is clearing forward obligations. Forwards are derivatives where you make an obligation to settle something in the future. So I collect Naira from you with an obligation based on a contract to settle, give you back your dollars in the future. The airlines don't have any forward contracts with the CBN. The contracts that were settled were basically with banks and other entities. So they have to take that and basically deal with it with their banks directly. And plus, there were some other things going around Twitter where people were saying that at the rate at which they bought tickets before the devaluation is the rate at which they want to be settled now, not at 1,400. They want to be settled at 450 or something like that because they will be making a loss on the tickets that they sold. You don't have a contract with the CBN based on what you were selling tickets for at a particular time. So I've spoken to IATA, a source which didn't want to be named, and we'll hear from them Monday.
So we'll wait for Monday or Tuesday to be able to get a finality on that, so that we just all get in all sides of the story. Vimbai?
Yep. Very quickly, Rotus, listen, I love listening to first world problems, and the Apple ecosystem is what I call a first world problem. It's an ecosystem. Is it a monopoly? Technically, I suppose it is, right? But it's a luxury product. It's not a basic necessity. You can live happily without your iPhone and all the gadgets attached to it. I mean, I'm a subscriber to the Apple ecosystem, but there's so many other ecosystems available now on Android, on so many other devices. So I think this is a serious case of first world problems, but I do look forward to finding out how it'll pan out.
Well, the reality is that regulators worldwide, are pushing back against big tech companies. Apple, Google, under the European digital law, and now in the US, you have Apple, facing the Department of Justice. And it's not just the Department of Justice. 16 other, attorneys general are part of that suit. And it's an antitrust, case. And it's not just iPhone. They are, in fact, looking across the spectrum of what Apple has to offer. And if the government wins, what may well happen is that they will put into effect the Sherman Act. Under the Sherman Act, they can break up Apple. But Apple says it is prepared to defend itself. But, the law professor, I listened to him, but the matter will go to court. They've already filed in a federal court in New Jersey. So the matter will be argued in court. Whether Apple wins or not will remain to be seen. But the whole idea is that when you run a monopoly, you want to fix prices, you want to muzzle out the competition, and globally we're seeing people saying this is not possible. Now, as for Meta AI, well, I don't know. I mean, a day will come when we'll be competing with technology that is supposed to aid us, according to some of the things you read. So Meta now, through artificial intelligence, is offering advice on decision making. And there's also Neuralink. Neuralink the other day was using brain computer interface to help Nolan to play chess. So a day will come when, our humanity, will depend more heavily on artificial intelligence. Finally, Reddit did very well, much better than Nvidia and also Tesla. Stocks rising 48%, on that their oversubscribed IPO. But the interesting part for me was Serena Williams going on X to praise her husband, especially. She called her my husband and my dad, husband and dad. Congratulations and all that. I say, I'm very proud of you as a businessman. How sweet that is. Thank you very much, Rutus.
So
when husbands do well, their wives praise them.
Absolutely.
Not so big, right?
Absolutely. We got love. Thank you so much, Rotus Odiri. Thanks so much for that update.